What if ghosts were not just stories? What if every shadow you've ever ignored was watching you back? What if right now someone who once lived in your house is still standing beside you, unseen? What if ghosts were real? Imagine this. You're alone in your room at night. The lights are off. Your phone battery is at 2%. The house is quiet, too quiet. Then you hear it. A soft footstep, a distant breath, a door that moves, but no wind. For centuries, every culture on Earth has one thing in common: stories of the dead who did not leave. From ancient Egypt to modern cities, from whispered legends to viral videos, humanity refuses to let go of the idea that death is not the end. Science tells us consciousness ends with the brain. Religion tells us the soul lives forever. And somewhere in between are the ghosts. If ghosts were real, everything we believe about life, death, reality, memory, justice, everything would collapse and rebuild at the same time. But what if we already feel it? That strange chill, that sense of being watched, that moment when you swear someone called your name. And here's the real question. If ghosts were proven real tomorrow, without doubt, would it comfort you? Or would it completely destroy your sense of safety? Because once you accept that the dead remain, you must face something far more terrifying. Now imagine this for a second. Tomorrow morning, every major scientist on Earth goes live at the same time. Governments release classified footage. Sensors detect consistent and visible energy fields that behave exactly like human consciousness. Ghosts are confirmed. Not metaphorically, not psychologically, literally. At first, the world doesn't scream. It goes silent. Hospitals freeze. Churches overflow. Prisons panic. Social media crashes in minutes. Because this discovery breaks the most important rule humanity has ever trusted, that death is final. If ghosts are real, then consciousness can exist without a body. That alone shatters neuroscience, physics, medicine, and biology. It means thoughts don't need a brain. Memory doesn't need neurons. Identity doesn't need flesh. So what are ghosts made of? Energy? Dark matter? Another dimension overlapping ours? If they occupy the same space but on a different frequency, then ghosts may not be floating through walls. They were always there. You were just blind to them. Suddenly, every empty room becomes crowded. Every abandoned building becomes occupied. Every battlefield, every hospital, every graveyard no longer quiet. And here's the terrifying part. If ghosts are real, then death is not escape, which means suicide is not an ending. Murder is not a disappearance. And human cruelty does not vanish with the heartbeat. The dead would become witnesses trapped inside reality. But if they can see us, can they touch us? Now think about this. At first, ghosts can't interact with the physical world. They simply observe like prisoners behind invisible glass. But as technology advances, we begin to detect micro-energy disturbances. Voices become clearer. Shapes become sharper. A handprint appears on a wall. A shadow opens a door. The line between the living and the dead begins to blur. Suddenly, funerals change. No one says goodbye. They say, "See you later." But would that make death less painful or infinitely more tragic? Because now loved ones don't move on. They linger. A husband watches his wife remarry. A child watches their parents grow old without them. A victim watches their killer walk free. Eternity becomes a sentence. Now, imagine the chaos. Courts begin calling ghosts as witnesses. Cold cases reopen overnight. Every hidden crime risks being exposed by the dead themselves. No more perfect murders. No more buried secrets. Privacy dies. Imagine arguing in your room alone, then remembering you're not actually alone. But what happens when ghosts don't just watch? What happens when they feel? Now everything changes. Religion explodes in every direction at once. Some faiths are confirmed, some are destroyed, some are rewritten entirely. Heaven? Hell? Purgatory? If ghosts remain here, trapped between worlds, then maybe the afterlife is not above us. It's layered on top of us. Governments would weaponize the dead. Imagine ghost spies who pass through walls. Imagine invisible soldiers that cannot be shot. Imagine interrogation rooms where the dead whisper truths into machines. Entire industries collapse. Funeral services crash. Life insurance changes completely. Mental health cases triple overnight. Fear becomes a permanent background noise. And yet, for the first time in human history, death loses its mystery. But so does peace. Because now grief never truly ends. You don't lose your loved ones. You simply stop being able to touch them. But what if ghosts don't just remain because they want to? What if they remain because they must? Now slow down. Imagine being a ghost. You can see everything, you can feel memories, but you cannot feel warmth. You cannot feel hunger. You cannot feel pain or pleasure. You are a memory that refuses to decay. You watch birthdays without you, funerals for yourself. People slowly forget the sound of your voice. You are forever present and forever absent. Is that immortality or the cruelest punishment imaginable? Maybe ghosts aren't proof that death failed. Maybe they're proof that moving on is necessary. Now think about this. If ghosts exist, it means reality stores memory not just in brains, but in the fabric of space itself. Your emotions may stain the universe. Your fear may echo for centuries, which means every moment you live might leave a shadow behind. And what if you could feel those shadows pressing against you right now? Imagine walking through your home tonight knowing this truth, that your room is not empty, that history is standing in the corners, that time is layered like glass, and you are simply passing through one thin sheet of it. And now comes the final question. If ghosts are real, then what are we becoming after death? Are we echoes, observers, warnings, or are we just unfinished stories refusing to close? But what if instead, what if one day we learn to communicate freely with the dead, to interview history directly, to reunite families across the boundary of death? Sounds beautiful, until you realize you can never truly escape your past, because now your past can speak back. Next time on What If humans suddenly gained the ability to see all ghosts at once? Would the world collapse from terror, or finally understand itself? So now sit still for a moment. Look around your room. Every wall has a history. Every building has echoes. Every place where people once lived might still be occupied in ways we don't understand. And maybe that strange feeling you get when you're alone is not loneliness, it's awareness. So let me ask you one last time, if ghosts were real, would you feel safer knowing your loved ones never truly leave? Or would you fear that nothing ever truly goes away? Because if the dead remain, then every moment matters more than we ever imagined. Every word, every choice, every goodbye. Now imagine if that happened tomorrow, would you survive? If this question made your heart race even a little, make sure you like this video, subscribe to What If, and comment below. Do you believe ghosts could be real? Or are they just echoes of the human mind? Until next time, keep questioning reality.